Hey, what's up guys? So we're back with another Fallout lore video. If you're new channel, welcome. We're going to be checking out another video by Echo, the channel Echo. So shout out and credit goes to Echo for this video. And this one I've been kind of looking forward to. This one's called Every Single Super Weapon in Fallout Explained. Now, when it comes to super weapons, I really don't know much except for one, Liberty Prime, the big massive robot that was built to fight against the communists. But besides that, I don't really know any other super weapons, so I'm going into this pretty much blind. So, without anything else, let's just jump right into it.
The wastelands of Fallout are brimming with weapons. Laser rifles and fat men might rule the ruins, but they're nothing more than toys compared to what's hidden deeper. Ancient satellites are still orbiting the Earth, their weapons ready and waiting to strike. Secret bunkers hum below the sand, eager to unleash nuclear fire across the world once again.
Yeah.
These aren't just weapons, they're Apocalypse 2.0, and someone's always trying to find the keys. Ghosts of the old world, atomic weapons, were what devastated the globe on October 23, 2077, killing billions and driving the majority of the survivors back to the Stone Age. In pre-war America, thousands of them were stockpiled before the final explosive confrontation with China. Though many were launched during that brief, brutal exchange, some weren't able to leave their silos, kept grounded through mechanical failures, rebelling base personnel, or were simply shelved to make way for bigger, better warheads. So, waiting in their bunkers and kept locked away in secure military warehouses, the wasteland still harbors many of the weapons that ended the world over 200 years earlier. And if they're still down there, it's only a matter of time before someone figures out how to dig them up, dust them off, and point them at someone new. The settlement of...
But that's more than 200 years. I mean, I'm not an expert in like nuclear fission or nuclear fusion or something like that, or nuclear weapons. But are they really still that good after 2 centuries? Because, I mean, I don't know about launching, because I mean, maybe some of the components have been worn out and can't launch properly unless someone has been doing proper maintenance on them. I'm thinking maybe what you could do is remove the warhead, and it could be a very powerful portable explosive. That's all I'm thinking.
Megaton in the capital wasteland plays host to one of these located in the center of town.
Oh,
the humongous weapon is well over 20 feet long and half buried in the sludge, an object of worship for the children of Adam. Without a huge team of Brahmin or some serious hardware to drag it out of the pit and across the wasteland, it's unlikely to level any cities anytime soon. Well, aside from Megaton itself, of course. Missiles are a safer bet, but with those locked away in bunkers crawling with robot guards and traps, sitting behind serious computerized security, getting a hold of them is a whole different kind of challenge. But if you go through all that and finally get that missile operational, it's an ace in the hole like no other. High above the devastated Earth, satellites still hang, simply waiting for the right signal to come back online. One of these less innocent orbiters is the weapon system known as the Bradley Hercules. Launched by the US government just prior to the Great War, the Hercules came stocked with 8 magazines of 9 missiles each, and was able to autonomously reload each volley as it fired. With the right codes and a powerful enough transmitter, the satellite could be directed to attack either a set of coordinates or landmarks identified by its onboard camera suite. The missiles it launches are extremely powerful, designed to punch through over 30 meters of rock and concrete to destroy hardened targets like bunkers and battleships. Though it can...
So vaults are, I mean, even if you're in a vault, this thing will go right through it.
Strike multiple sites, it's most effective against a single target. At the end of the Brotherhood Enclave War, it was even able to destroy another famous superweapon, the mighty Liberty Prime. The confusingly named Highwater Trousers is the little brother of the Hercules. Another satellite hanging over the capital wasteland, the targeting systems on this platform have long since burnt out, leaving its payload completely unguided. Needless to say, having missiles raining down willy-nilly across the wasteland isn't exactly the best idea for those on the ground, but when compared to its older brother, its weapons are firecrackers. Instead of potent bunker busters, it fires, or more accurately drops, 8 modified mini-nukes in a wide scatter, their blasts only slightly larger than the normal kind launched by a fat man. And that's it.
Oh, cool.
Any and all usefulness Highwater trousers had was expended in one sloppy, inaccurate go. The next two weapons weren't purpose-built as weapons, but through the schemes of their operators were transformed into them. The first of these unexpected weapons would be the weather machine built below the rundown Dark Hollow Manor in the south of Appalachia. Its resting place is Vault 63, built on the order of Hugo Stoltz, a member of the Vault-Tec Board of Directors. One of the experiments in this shelter was the construction of a unique weather machine designed to control the climate outside of the vault. The first time it was used at full power, the results were catastrophic. The malfunctioning machine didn't summon any normal weather, instead calling down a blood-red storm battering the entire Shenandoah National Park with gale-force winds and relentless lightning strikes. This weather was so ferocious that the earth itself around the manor was torn apart, flattening trees and causing strange gas to erupt from the cracks left behind. Strangely, the weather machine's activation also had an effect on the ghouls of Vault 63, driving them quite mad, but also linking their minds together, giving them a strange and uncanny awareness of each other. These lost ghouls attack anyone not in their collective, channeling the unnatural weather through their own bodies, electrocuting those who get too close by launching lightning out of their cracked, smoking skin. Though it can cast a devastating storm over an area of more than 300 square miles, it has to be centered on the machine itself, which is built into Vault 63's very systems. This means that with every activation, you're going to be blasting yourself with a faceful of lightning as well, and can only really hope to lure your enemies to you. The Lost Ghouls may seem like an advantage, but if anything, it's yet another drawback, as the insane electric victims of the machine are aggressive towards anyone who isn't lost themselves and are next to impossible to control.
That is really cool. I did not know about the weather machine, and the graphics of like the red storm like that looks pretty cool. And so it looks like when he said it linked their minds together, the ghouls, so kind of like a hive mind or just like a more hyper awareness of one another. That's really cool as well. But controlling the weather and turning it into like a devastating effect is actually pretty as effective as an atomic bomb, because hey, Mother Nature will always win. So that's really cool. So next one is called the Casino.
Across the continent in the Mojave Wasteland, another Crimson weather phenomenon stands ready to be weaponized. This one...
Sorry, it said casino right here, so I thought it was... And it's called Casino on the chapter, so I thought it was called the Casino.
One far more dangerous. Above the ruins of the Sierra Madre Resort and Casino is a corrosive, metallic cloud. This cloud, unleashed as a byproduct of the experimental technologies used in the resort's construction, is deadly to anyone who breathes it. It worms its way through windows and the cracks of doors, with even hazmat suits and gas masks providing no defense. Those who tried to escape it found themselves trapped within their own protective gear, transforming into the mysterious ghost people that stalk the villa's streets. Though initially seeming like a simple, unnatural disaster, a disgraced former Brotherhood elder named Father Elijah came to the Sierra Madre in an attempt to weaponize the technologies within. Sealed deep in the casino's vault are the controls for the whole complex's systems, allowing the cloud to be turned from a mere nuisance to a deadly weapon. If Father Elijah isn't stopped by the courier, the cloud can be coaxed into spreading, extending its blood-red tendrils across the whole of the Mojave, advancing and retreating at will, making it one of the most powerful superweapons on our list. These next two superweapons are a little unconventional, straddling the line between weapons and soldiers or vehicles. But given the terror they strike into the hearts of their enemies and the sheer destruction they can unleash, it seems only right they make the list.
Okay, before we jump into the one I know, so the cloud looks like it's, judging by like how Echo described it, it's a chemical and biological weapon, and judging by what he said about the Mojave Desert and seeing New Vegas, it is on the New Vegas, based on the New Vegas game time, because I do remember that the courier is the name, is like what the main character is called, the protagonist, and looks like the cause of it is by the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, I just want to let you guys know, for Liberty Prime, I want to dig more into Liberty Prime, so I am looking into lore videos. So after this, there should be Liberty Prime lore videos coming out. And if there's any more super weapons you guys want me to check out, like lore videos, please let me know. And if you guys want me to get to it a lot quicker or have a lot more accurate information, if you guys can put the link of those videos in the comments below as well, then it would make my life a little bit easier. So I really would appreciate it. All right, let's check out Liberty Prime.
The first is, of course, the mighty Liberty Prime, a prototype combat robot built by the pre-war United States Army. Prime stands at over 40 feet tall and is bristling with advanced weapon systems, the most prominent being an eye-mounted laser. It's capable of disintegrating even power-armored combatants and burrowing through 100 feet of concrete and steel to reach the Institute's underground labs. The laser was also backed up by a stock of tactical nukes, which could be chucked like footballs with wild abandon, obliterating massed formations. Despite the potency of its...
So I'm laughing because I thought he was going to toss it like way far, but it was just right in front of him.
Obliterating massed formations. Despite the potency of its weapons, however, its greatest asset may be Prime's durability. It is completely immune to heavy weapon systems, shrugging off minigun fire, rocket launchers, and even mini-nukes, not even breaking stride, booming patriotic slogans all the while. Even when destroyed, the massive robot can be slowly rebuilt, as long as you have the right tools. It was with Prime that the East Coast Brotherhood of Steel battered their enemies, first with the assault on Project Purity and the Enclave, then against the Commonwealth's Institute. The only organic individual on this list, he's something less than human and is much closer to a proper superweapon than your average soldier. Formerly a violently psychotic Enclave Special Forces operative, Frank Horrigan was exposed to the forced evolutionary virus in a raid on the Mariposa military base. Taking advantage of a rapidly mutating test subject, the Enclave's scientists used Horrigan as a playground for all of their most outlandish and painful procedures. These included constant chem stimulation, the bionic replacement of many of his internal organs, including his eyes and some limbs, and the grafting of his body into a specially designed suit of power armor.
So basically, he is like the Space Marine in Fallout.
By the end of this grueling series of tests, Horrigan had twisted and grown to being over 12 feet tall and over 6 feet wide, while retaining a fair amount of intelligence and a rabid loyalty to the Enclave. His exploits in the background of Fallout 2's story paint a picture of how truly dangerous the weapon known as Frank Horrigan had become. Assaulting the Brotherhood's outpost in San Francisco, carrying out wasteland assassinations and abductions, and enforcing the expanding will of the Enclave across California were all in a day's work. He was even able to clear out a whole vault full of intelligent Deathclaws in close quarters combat, something a whole team of Brotherhood Knights would struggle with. In battle, Horrigan can rely on his hulking mass and near impenetrable armor, which can deflect anything up to anti-tank munitions with limited effort, as well as an extremely potent weapon, an experimental plasma cannon capable of devastating automatic fire and connected directly to his power armor's fusion cores. If that wasn't bad enough, the hulking mutant is deceptively fast, able to close the distance in seconds, tearing apart even the hardiest wasteland creatures or power-armored opponents with a frenzy of stabs, slashes, and strikes from the 4-foot blades welded to his gauntlets. Even when blown completely in half, he can survive, levering himself onto his hands for one last attempt at victory. The last weapon...
Dude, that is crazy. I mean, Frank Horrigan is a beast, but also on top of that, I thought this was going to be like one of those experiments gone wrong, and he's going to go against the Enclave for revenge and destroy and pretty much go against everyone. But it looks like the fact that since he retained his intelligence and he's still loyal to the Enclave, that was a huge twist, because usually when people get experimented on, it just usually goes the other way. Like, I seek revenge for what they did to me and things like that. Okay, next is Archimedes.
On the West Coast, the Archimedes II is the perfect representation of style over substance. A dazzling weapon sure to strike fear into the hearts of any foe, but below the surface, it hides a terrible weakness. The Helios 1 power plant was not only a valuable source of electricity for the Mojave, it could also beam its collected power into orbit to power Archimedes' primary weapon, a devastating orbital laser. Initially, the beam could only fire straight down, vaporizing the NCR garrison at Helios. However, a targeting device was developed before being lost to the wasteland.
It kind of reminds me of that big targeting, like that laser from Gears of War. And also on top of that, now that explains why Helios 1 has been sought after by NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel so much.
After a bit of searching, you can find it in the possession of a kid in Freeside, who thinks it's nothing more than a toy ray gun. With the targeter known as Euclid's C-Finder in hand, Archimedes truly comes into its own. After designating a target with the C-Finder, 3 lasers will converge, one from the Finder, one from the Helios Tower, and one from Archimedes. After a quick charge-up, the orbiting satellite will blast a powerful blue beam of energy down to the surface, utterly shredding whatever it hits, and blasting back anything not instantly killed at the far edge of its effect. Every 24 hours, as long as the sun's in the sky, the satellite can strike, proving more than a match for most wasteland creatures, though it's somewhat lacking against the absolute toughest customers around. The final superweapon on our list is also the most potent, capable of spying, smiting, and supplying all at once, the Kovac-Muldoon platform. Like so many other devastating weapons, the Muldoon is under the control of the Enclave, in the form of the Appalachian AI Modus operating out of the White Spring bunker. The most basic function of the gigantic satellite is as a spy platform. With proper direction, it can scan huge tracts of wasteland, identifying enemies, locating resources, and keeping an eye on all goings-on across Appalachia. Second, it's capable of dispatching orbital drop pods crammed with supplies, with everything from rations to munitions, weapons, and other expendables waiting to reinforce allies behind enemy lines or deep in the wilderness. As if the support side of things still wasn't enough, the Kovac-Muldoon is armed with the same missile system as its brother station, the Bradley Hercules, with a seemingly endless supply of warheads to rain down on the enemies of the Enclave.
That is amazing.
Even if you don't have a direct line to the satellite, throwable beacons can draw either its eye or a targeted orbital bombardment at any time, as long as it has a clear line to the sky. The only drawback to the Muldoon is that any potential users would either have to work alongside the unsettling mechanical modus, or otherwise find a way to seize control of it, which is still less of a hurdle than finding and connecting to such a weapon from scratch. And there they are, the super weapons of Fallout, from the devastating to the deranged. What do you think?
That's cool.
Did every one of these weapons get a fair shake? Or would you have ranked them differently? Let us know down below.
Okay, this is really great. I love this video. So, from which one, if I had a choice of just choosing one of these like super weapons to have in my inventory or loadout, I would actually go with the Kovac-Muldoon, because one, it has the capabilities of, what was it called? The Hercules? The Bradley Hercules, like the missiles. But two, it has a huge, with that, you have a huge ability when it comes to reconnaissance and logistic support. Because one, you'll be able to see everything, so you'll be able to know the enemy's numbers, locations. That's a huge tactical advantage. And two, you'll also be able to resupply when and where, and so that way you'll be able to maintain sustainability, not just for you, but also maybe a small army or squad, anything. So that's a huge tactical advantage as well. So that thing has everything you need for like support, support fire, reconnaissance, and logistics. Dude, that is the main one, Kovac-Muldoon. The one I did not know, which was brand new to me, was the Weather Machine and the Cloud, and Frank Horrigan. Wait, is it Horrigan? Yeah, Horrigan. Yeah. So that was those were new to me. I did not really know about the Bradley Hercules either, and I knew there were like some nukes at the beginning. There were some nukes in Fallout, but I didn't know they were still operational. So that was pretty new to me. And the only one I knew in this one was Liberty Prime. So I'm gonna look out for more lore videos for Liberty Prime, but I'm also gonna try to check out lore videos for the other super weapons, like maybe Kovac-Muldoon or maybe Frank Horrigan. So besides that, this was a really great video. And my question to you guys is, if you had a choice of one of these super weapons, what would you choose and why? Like I said, Kovac-Muldoon because of its logistical support, reconnaissance, and fire support. So that's all I got for today, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. And also shout out to all my members, subscribers, viewers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really do appreciate it. So without anything else, see you guys next time.